this latest news about the takeover that's broken in the last sort of 20 or 30 minutes?
No.
So the first thing first, let's go through this. It looks like we may be on the cusp of a Qatari takeover of Manchester United. So the first tweet that we saw was from an account that was just at Qatari. If you want some source on that was it. Who is seems to be a journalist that was talking and saying, after the intransigence of Liverpool owners and their refusal to give a percentage exceeding 49%, which is a controlling percentage in which decision-making takes place, the compass changed completely for Manchester United, and this is the key bit. Very simple steps to announce the acquisition of United. He also tweeted a picture of this picture that you can see there behind Nathan. That picture was also part of the tweet.
The classic picture with a statement.
The classic picture
Corner
with a statement. There was then a follow-up tweet from Majed Al-Khalifi, who said...
is that the Emir guy?
I'm not entirely sure on that.
Okay.
He said his Twitter bio is editor-in-chief of the Doha Arabic and English E-Stadium. But he's got 363,000 followers. He's verified on Twitter and everything. And he just tweeted, Man United, Qatari.
Because the soft deadline's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I've just as you were saying that, I was looking on Twitter for a few tweets, and I saw a tweet which said PSG are concerned by the Qatar takeover because they feel United will be prioritised. It's clear there's a link between the Qatari sports investment who own PSG and the QIC or whoever it is that will own Manchester United. Yeah. And it's clear they're both run by the state, and I don't want to be state-owned.
No.
From a football perspective, I think, and this is why a lot of people will love it, United will be competitive at the top end of the market. They'll be spending loads of money. They'll probably get a new stadium, all these kind of things. Yeah. But I don't want to be state-owned. There's nothing against Qataris. There's nothing against Saudis or anyone. Or I wouldn't want to be owned by the American state or the British state. Yeah. I don't want to be owned by a state, because then you're linked to that state for everything good or bad they do. Yeah. And they use you to prop up that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's out of the frying pan and into the fire. But once the Glazers are gone, we will be better as a football team, that's for sure. But
it's tough, isn't it?
I've criticised City, Newcastle, all these teams before. I can't come out now and say, "Oh, this is amazing."
No,
because it wouldn't be true.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the exact same point. Like you said, I don't want to be. I mean, there was reports in the week about how the one of the sort of the main people behind that the group that would be doing the takeover studied in England and has been a big fan of football for a long time.
That's the PR starting.
That's the PR starting. That's what I'm saying. We're now, like you said, intrinsically linked to all the good things and all the bad things that Qatar as a nation do. And we saw over the World Cup the amount of backlash and the stuff with the workers that were there and the way that they were treated or not treated, as the case may be, and all the things where you think, I don't want Manchester United to be linked to that. I don't want us to have to defend that. I don't want to sit here and say that, well, our owners aren't this. I don't want to be making excuses.
Just to combat a few of the comments that I know will inevitably come, I didn't really fancy Ineos and Ratcliffe either. Right. I didn't want Elon Musk. Yeah. I didn't so for people that are going to say, oh, you would have been buzzing with, again, I don't know who I wanted. There's no real...
Well, this is the problem.
And this isn't an excuse, by the way, but there's no real billionaire that you're going to go, they're great, they are. Yeah, unless Rihanna wants to buy you or something.
I know, unless it's Oprah.
That's the question. That's what I was wondering. Like, what? Who is there then? If there's,
there isn't.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the question. But what is there anything happen with like City or Newcastle or anything like that where they have used that for them reasons?
Well, yeah, I think it's. I don't think there'll be ever one thing that you go, oh look, that's sports washing. I think everything they do is just legitimizing whatever they do, innit? Yeah. And I think even then, if you go on to, I don't think United will have to be in that position, where City have inflated their sponsorships and stuff. You might even end up in situations like that, which aren't healthy.
Because that's the thing, like, there was some reports about, there's some issues between, because obviously they own PSG, the same people, it's a different company or a different cluster of money or whatever, but it's the same people.
Isn't it? And the two clubs.
Yeah, and well, technically it's illegal. Yeah. You can't have two clubs that can compete in the same competition. You can't own two clubs in the same competition. Obviously, we could play against each other in Europe. But then the rumour and the report was the Qataris believe that their highly paid lawyers would be able to smooth out any issues around us and them. But then It was City's highly paid lawyers that thought they could sponsor the stadium the way they did. They could pay Mancini the way they did.
These are already set up at a level where they appear to be separate from the state.
Yeah.
Because they have control in, I think it's like Harrods and all these different things. Do you think that isn't directly through the state?
No, I know
these
it's
are
not.
through
But,
these.
but what
I've
I'm saying is,
got a lisp. Sorry. these are through the things that the swelling's gone down. Have you seen?
yeah, you're looking much slimmer after you had
looking
your
much
wisdom
slimmer
tooth
today.
out.
Yeah. So yeah, these are things that are already in place, and also the British government will want it. The Premier League will want it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll all want this.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They will all want this. The British government will go, we're going to get Qatari investment. Not only have we got it in London, we're going to get Qatari investment in Manchester.
Yeah.
There's already talk about 5-star hotels and
training grounds,
all these different things. Do you know what I mean? That means that's money that the Tories don't have to spend on in Manchester.
Yeah.
So I think the British government will welcome it. And I think football has already shown that fit and proper tests aren't a thing. They allowed the Glazers to take over.
Yeah.
There wasn't any pushback from the government or from Premier League when the Glazers took over. There wasn't no pushback when City's owners took over. And I don't even mean just the current ones. Remember Thaksin Shinawatra?
Yep.
He took over. He
Literally
was
just a con man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the Premier League have never stepped in to prevent these takeovers in the past, and I don't see it happening again.
No, I don't think that side of it is almost like, I'm not even thinking about that. There's no way that this doesn't happen if they're the highest bidder, or if the Glazers agreed to sell them.
Anyway, can we just obviously Mbappe's going to sign for United now, by the way. PSG are scared, isn't it?
Yeah.
And United are going to win everything after that.
The thing is,
can we just focus on the football game?
Well, we can. But,
4 minutes till kick off.
But just lastly,
I don't want to depress myself about it.
Just lastly, the one thing I do want to say is there has never been a team remotely the size of Man United owned by owners the size that we're seeing here.
They've manufactured that.
Yeah, they've gone for
size,
City, were by multiplications the smallest team in Manchester.
I have
They've
no
gone for
doubt
Newcastle.
as well. The Saudis will be kicking themselves that they didn't get United.
That's what I'm saying. This is a new thing entirely.
The Qataris are probably thinking we're wasting money on PSG.
Yeah, well, PSG were fuck all. Pretty much. Yeah. It was Marseille, it was Lyon. There were multiple clubs ahead of PSG on the sort of hierarchy of French teams. This has never happened before. Newcastle are a small team that won a trophy in 50 years, or the Premier League in 50 years. Man City the same. This is the biggest club, arguably in the world, certainly the biggest club in England, being owned by people who have got hundreds of billions of pounds. Man United could dominate football for the next 20 years. Yeah. Genuinely.
And Tal says in the comments, it's worth that we reply to some of these comments.
Yes.
Qatar is such a wonderful place. I love it there. Bro, I have no doubt it's a wonderful place. I would go there on holiday, and I'm sure the people are great. I go to America on holiday. You know, I go to... I live in England, bruv. Like, you know, I don't agree with any of the governments or the states in these places, but I still find the people in those places are amazing, and you go on holiday to these places. That's not what we're saying here, innit?
No.
That's not what we're saying.
This
we
isn't
just
an
don't want
anti-Qatar
state
thing in any way. This is, I don't want to be owned by a government that has any sort of track record. Every single government has got shit and good, but I don't want to be owned by a government where
imagine if the Queen and that took us over. I'd be
ridiculous.
like, hell no.
We were just saying this before.
Prince Andrew and that, CEO. Fuck that. Fergie time is not sweating.
Right, thank you.